Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in everybody. I apologize if I'm kind of like down low right now cuz I just woke up from a nap and I kind of don't know where I am. Oh, it's you again. Yeah, it's you again. Hi Oz. Hello everyone. Hi Daria. Hello to everybody. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, apologies if I'm kind of like, if I kind of sound like I just woke up. It's because I have. But yep, let me know if my audio sounds okay. Let me know if I should turn myself down, turn anything else up. Let me actually adjust my mic for a second. Hello. Hello. Welcome in everyone. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about action poses, just as the stream name suggests. This is going to be a lecture-y stream. We're going to be starting off with a lecture, and then we're going to finish off with the actual illustration, which you guys have voted for an aerial silks dancer, which I haven't drawn in a really long time, so that'll be fun. But yeah, thanks so much for joining. But before we get started, those of you who have been here for a long time know the drill. Those of you who are new, I've seen a couple new faces. Hello. We'll be starting off with talking a bit about the studio, because if you didn't know, we are a growing community that's filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our website for our class offerings. Oh, where'd that go? Where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors, because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are an art school too. So if you'd like to support us so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $5 a month, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots. So be sure to check those out before they are gone. All right. Is this the second part of the first one? No, not really. It's more like, I'm gonna be real, like, I have my notes off to the side here, and like, I planned out these live streams with Faye and, like, my boss, and, like, I don't really know why we did exaggerating poses after action poses. I guess it's just because exaggeration can be, like, literally everything. But, like, we're doing, no, this is not a continuation. This is starting on a completely different topic. Pausing by regularly scheduled show that shall not be named programming for Wait Campus programming. So true. So again, for those who are just joining in, we're starting off with our lecture-y portion. So if you'd like to take notes, feel free to. But we're going to be starting off with talking about action poses. Sit back, relax, and listen to the lesson. I just want to be a better artist. Same, bro. Will this live stream be saved as a video? Yes, they always are. You'll be able to watch it afterwards. So action poses, I like I just mentioned, I kind of did these streams backwards because we talked about exaggeration first, lol. But there are certain things. Oh, we're in Medibang today, by the way. We usually, for those of you who are a bit newer, we usually switch programs per week. So last week was Clip, I believe, and the week before was Photoshop, so we're in Medibang right now. Certain things to think about when planning, sketching. So I'm gonna go over a few of the things. Miss Ma'am living the life to take a nap. I'm jealous, honestly, right? But yeah, so certain things to think about when we're planning and sketching and drawing an action pose. All right, so I'm gonna be going a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're planning out and drawing your action poses, because it's one thing to know how to draw an action pose, it's another thing to actually know the steps too, right? I always find that it's better to understand what you're doing before you actually, because I find that step-by-step tutorials only do so much. So it's better to understand what you're doing first. So number one, first thing that you want to keep in mind is your line of action. I should have grabbed a pose before I did this stream. In normal Jessie fashion where I'm just never prepared. Line of action. Your line of action is a line that moves throughout a pose to show movement and fluidity. So where is it coming from? Actually, you know what? Let me grab a pose before I do that. Do we need to know anatomy before this? Probably. Action poses. Let's just pull out. No, give me photos. Photography. Can you give me a pose that I can work with, Google? Sorry, I'm looking through. I should have grabbed one beforehand. Oh, I've seen this pose before. I've drawn this with my students. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Shh. Wow, that's huge. Okay, let's make that smaller. This is the famous foreshortening pose that everybody knows for some reason. So generally, when we draw a line of action, we want to start kind of from the base of the spine. So that's kind of right at the top. If you can kind of feel it. It's like right at the top of your neck, where your neck meets your skull. It's kind of like that's generally where your line of action should start, and then you come down to where, oh, this should be underneath. No, this should be under. There we go. To where weight is placed. All right, and it usually creates an S curve. A really nice fluid line of action will create an S curve. Something like that, right? Sometimes it's not always an S, sometimes it's a C. Actually, I should pull up a C curve as well. Why didn't I plan anything? Here we go. I can take this one. No, this one's smaller. Easier to manage. Put that under here. Lower the opacity of that. All right, so same deal. Sometimes it's like, if you're in the air, you might not even have the, like, where the weighting is, so it's where the energy will, quote-unquote, escape from. So it's usually top of the spine. It'll come out of this pointed foot. So this one's like a C curve, and this one's like an S curve. So line that moves throughout the pose, show movement and fluidity. So where's it coming from? Why did my handwriting suddenly get 20 times worse? Why the shortcuts? Okay. How will you use it to create the pose? I can leave that one out. So when working from reference, line of action identified first. Okay, so your line of action Line of action is a line that moves throughout a pose to show movement and fluidity. Alright, so this line, again, like I mentioned, starts at the top of the spine, ends at kind of like where the energy, quote-unquote, releases, or where, where the energy releases, or where, like, the most weighting is being placed on the ground. So you want to understand where line of action is coming from, and you want to understand how it moves throughout the body, and you should move every other portion of the body to match that line of action. And that's how you get a really nice... Like, obviously not exactly, but you should exaggerate it to move with that line of action to get a really nice fluid pose. So when you're working from reference, a line of action should be identified first. So if you have a reference, which you should, you should kind of identify this line of action moving throughout the pose, which is your first step of gesture. And that should be identified before you do anything else. Okay. Shrimps are famously C curves, so true. Hi, welcome in. Sorry to those who haven't, like, who are, like, used to me reading every single message. We're kind of, like, we've got, like, 190 people in here now. I can't read everything anymore. Would this work with things other than humans? It should. The thing is that lines of action should work with, like, everything. The way that you approach them is different if it's not a human. This will work with all humanoids. Have I ever used Krita? Yes, I don't like Krita. I can just put my foot down on that now. Like, the thing with Krita is that it works very differently from, like, every other program that you use. So, like, working with Krita and then switching off to something else is, like, super weird. Is it over 200 now? Sheesh. Krita's, like, fine. The thing is, like, I don't mind if, like, you work... Like, I don't care what program you work in. Like, everybody has an opinion. But, like, it's also... Like, you can work in Krita, but I don't recommend it being your first program, because then it's hard to switch from Krita to something else. Is CSP good? CSP is one of the programs that I switch out with regularly. I actually don't use Medibang a lot. The two programs that I work with the most frequently are Photoshop and CSP. Are there any types of line of action? Yeah, so you can have an S curve and you can have a C curve. C curves tend to be a little bit more common if the person is off the ground. S curve tends to be if the person is standing up. You went from Krita to Medibang? Really? Medibang's a lot simpler than Krita. I don't think I would have switched that way. I think I would have gone from Krita to Clip. But I have a friend who's like, she couldn't use Clip. She was like, I got too used to Krita, and I was like, really? Oh, is CSP on sale right now? I didn't know that. That's good. What about a contortionist? How the heck can you identify with a human contorted into a pretzel? That one is mostly just identifying forms, because that's not an action pose. The thing with contortionists is that if they're not moving, that's a stationary pose. Pro CSP agenda. Failed. Yes, you're allowed to ask me most questions. Is Fire Alpaca fine? It's a little bit too simple for me. Number 2. Do I know what the warrior cats are? Yeah. I never read them, but I know what it is. I wasn't a Warrior Cats kid. I was a Percy Jackson kid. I read Percy Jackson, I read Wings of Fire. And then I got older, and I didn't realize that they went past book 5. One of my students was like, oh yeah, I've read up to like book 12. And I was like, book 12? It's like, there's more than 5? I was like, what the heck? Because it ended so nicely on book 5. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's done now. And then they just kept going. Have I tried Ibis? I don't like Ibis. That's another program I don't really like. It's just like, it's... because I only have a phone, and Ibis is like app only. I'm not a really big fan of Ibis. I want to play Twilight Princess. That's an old game. Don't focus on detail first. Okay. Opinions on Procreate. That's what I use. Procreate's nice. It's like you're talking to a Photoshop snob. So like I'm the type who loves really intense and crazy looking UIs. So Procreate again is a little bit too simple for me. It handles nicely, but it's just not a program that I use. What equipment is good for drawing on a device and too used to paper? You can literally use a phone. Like it's whatever you're used to, man. I have a beef with Procreate's UI and brush engine. It's so true. I don't like Procreate's UI. For the drawing portion, can you do PGO fan art? I cannot. I already have a preset thing. Okay. So number 2, don't focus. Sorry, I think I'm going too loud. Number 2, don't focus on details first. So when you're drawing an action pose, drawing any kind of action pose, you want to plan out your entire pose first, so you don't lose your speed or fluidity. A thing that you see a lot of artists do is they'll take a section of a pose, like they'll start with the face. I do this all the time. I break this rule a lot, even though I shouldn't. But with actually not with action poses. With action poses, I try to do the whole thing first. But stationary for sure. But you want to plan out your entire pose first so you don't lose your speed or fluidity, right? It's a strategy that a lot of gesture artists will take, right? Where you want to draw out your entire pose first, and then you can slow down and start adding details. So you want to move as quickly as possible first because it'll keep up your speed, it'll keep up your fluidity. It'll make sure that your pose doesn't get too stiff because you're not focusing on the shapes and forms too hard, right? So picking a spot and slowing down will stiffen your entire pose. It'll make your pose really, really stiff. All right, so let's say if I was to drawing like somebody like running, and I slowed down and really okay, I'm gonna add the details of the face, and then I'm gonna keep slowing down and get really meticulous about drawing in every little aspect of the shapes. Right? And I really want to fit in everything. Actually, this leg should be back here, this leg should be forward, and then really sit there, and then I go back, and then I add in the hair, and like this is already taking too long, right? It's already taking too long. Like, I'm fast, but it's gonna take a little bit too long, right? So if you just immediately you want to plan out the gesture before you move on to any kind of cleanup. Because what this does is it helps keep your brush quick, it helps keep your movement smooth, right? These shapes, they're clean, but they don't have as much movement, and they don't have as much fluidity as, say, this one that I did, like, a lot less smoothly, right? Because this one feels more like the person is zooming, right? This one feels like a stationary pose. This one feels like the person is zooming. This is when we want to bring in our exaggeration, right? Obviously, a body does not really move like this, but it looks better than this one. This feels far more stiff by comparison to this one, right? Because I stopped thinking, which is a weird piece of advice to give, but it helps. Like, if you just kind of stop thinking for a bit and help with your exaggeration. Because at a point, when you become a more advanced artist, anatomy and a lot of that sort of stuff becomes second knowledge, second nature. So it becomes a bit less of a nuisance. Do you have any tips in drawing action poses and comic strips since it's a smaller space? Yes. So when I would have to do action poses with comic pages, let me pull out a comic page of mine. When I would do, ooh, can I pull out a comic page of mine? I'm trying to think. When did my action poses come out? Let's look at my pages for a second. I may not be able to show it. Let's see. Because Grayson is a bit spooky for stream. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. So when I would do, like, this is actually kind of stiff. So when I would do comic pages for, like, smaller spaces, because it's digital, I have the option to just, like, draw it really large and then, like, make it smaller. Stuff like that. But it's, like, it is a little bit easier to, like, you know, do it large and then shrink it down afterwards. I still like this page. I like this pose a lot. No, I still really love this pose, but it is like, it's a bit easier if you start large, move smaller. The existence of Daisy is terrifying. I love Daisy. I honestly miss drawing these guys. It's been 6 months. I should update this comic again. It's been a while. I haven't updated Grayson in a long time. Man. Webtoon scares me. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you want to make sure your poses are quick. You like to draw frogs? I too like to draw frogs. Frogs are great. You just... You know what I mean? Frog. Frog. Okay. Just watch me speed paint my characters. We have some more requesty streams where I do that, I think. Number 2, or number 3. Flug. So true. In the campaign that I'm playing, the D&D campaign that I'm playing, there's a Tabaxi character named Scribbles. But our entire part, like, out, like, above the table, everybody has been calling him Squibbles instead. So instead of, like, Scribbles, it's Squibbles. It's a Tabaxi wizard bard. He's great. I tried to pull a prank on the shifter the other day. Didn't work. Squibbles! Squibbles! We love Squibbles. Squibbles is really easy to draw. He's, like... And then he's got a hat. His hat has 2 pointed cat ears. Yeah, there's Squibbles. I love drawing Scribbles. Can you draw them sometime? I'm actually planning on drawing a member of the party for this stream. Number 3, don't shy away. I play a dragonborn barbarian. He's 8 years old. His name is Corn Chip. He has 9 intelligence and 11 wisdom. He's not the smartest boy, but he tries his best. Corn Chip. Yeah, it's Corn Chip. So his first name is Corn, last name is Chip. Can I do the Corn voice right now?
Talking like Corn is a little bit like this. So whenever I talk like Corn, I have to kind of speak through my nose and make my voice a little bit gravelier.
But like whenever because Corn is like 8, he's a little boy, so I speak a little bit differently when I when I play as him. It's really fun to play as Corn. Sister. Your character has 15 wisdom, sheesh. Smart. Please stream D&D. I totally would, but the others aren't comfortable with streaming this one. I do work for a streamed D&D show, though. Speak through your nose. Well, you know,
when you speak a little bit nasalier, it's called speaking through your nose.
Like, usually I speak from my chest, because, like, I have a deeper voice. It's a singing tactic. Get this girl a cough drop. I'm all good, bro. That's D&D. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, number 3. I don't want to spend forever on this lesson. Number 3, don't shy away from foreshortening. Don't shy away from foreshortening. Most action poses will have some, some kind of foreshortening. No matter how minor. to avoid it. Can make a pose. Feel stiff. Foreshortening. Also adds interest. Why do I think of Corn Chip being Soldier from that one TF2 Halloween comic? No. Okay, so I've drawn Corn on stream before. Let me pull him up real quick before I move on, because I have to talk about him now. Hang on. Oops, we're almost there. I have so many folders. Where's my boy? There he is. I've drawn Corn on stream before. Corn looks like this. He's like Corn. Okay, so this isn't his canon outfit. He has like a more barbarian's outfit, but like he's cute. He's so cute. He's a little dragonborn. Teeth. Yeah, he's got teeth. Okay. So don't shy away from foreshortening. Most action poses will have some kind of foreshortening, no matter how minor. Right? Doesn't matter how small the amount of foreshortening is. Sometimes it's just the fingers. Sometimes it's like just a single limb. Sometimes it's not even like the whole body. Like most action poses will have some kind of foreshortening, no matter how minor. Right? So trying to avoid it can make a pose feel really, really stiff. Oh, yo, Corn Chip, so true. So trying to avoid it can make the pose feel really, really stiff. So foreshortening also adds interest, right? There's a lot of things that you can do to make poses feel more interesting, right? It's one thing to be able to draw like a running pose, right? Even in this one, right? This forearm, foreshortened. You can't avoid it. You literally can't. So I have to draw that running pose again. This is great if like the person is starting off like running, like they're jumping off, like say it's track and field and they're just starting. Like they're sprinting or something. Let me actually angle this a bit better. Be more like that. to really exaggerate that movement. Right, so this is fine. Right, this is totally fine. Like, this is a fine looking pose. Right, they're schmoovin', they're really going super quick. But say if we were to add like some foreshortening into that. This arm's coming at you. The whole body's kind of foreshortened. You see this pose a lot in, like, manga and whatever. And if this leg's, like, back. This is a really extreme one. Actually, let's switch this. That's a really extreme one. Hang on, I'm trying to visualize this a bit better. The thing with extreme foreshortening is it takes me so long, so I don't think I can demonstrate this. Whoa! I deleted the whole layer. That's my bad. This is fine for demonstrating. Like, actually, you know what? Let's have them foreshorten upwards. Why not? So if we have. We're looking underneath. This leg is upwards. Bottom of the foot. Oh, it's just such a tough pose. Why did I choose this? Okay, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to spend forever on this, so we're not going to. So foreshortening tends to add interest, though. So if you really wanted to make your poses look real funky, you could add foreshortening. But this already has foreshortening. I guess I should explain what foreshortening is. So for people who don't know, foreshortening... Oh, this is a different brush color. So for people who don't know, foreshortening is like when you have, like, say a limb or something coming towards you. And it looks like it's compressed. That's foreshortening. Right, so when it looks like a part of the body is coming towards you and you have to add that extreme kind of, like... that extreme kind of perspective on the body, that's foreshortening. Let me show you some foreshortening in a pose. I'm trying to pull out, like, other artwork of mine so I don't have to... Where is this one? There it is. I'm trying to pull out other artwork of mine so I don't have to redraw it. Here we go. Right? So having foreshortening, right? Foreshortening in the arm right here. This is Lotus, another D&D character. Not mine, though. So we have foreshortening in the arm right here, foreshortening in the arm back here. As it moves forward, backwards, exaggeration in the action. Obviously, an arm does not curve like this, but we want to move it like that. Is that Lotus? Yeah, it is. Foreshortening right here as well. There's the whole list. We have the foreshortening in this arm, minor foreshortening in this forearm as he kind of squats down. I don't actually like this pose that much, but foreshortening always adds interest to a pose. It makes poses look 20 times cooler, right? It just makes a lot of things look 20 times cooler, right? It makes things look a little bit less stiff. It makes things have interest. That kind of jazz. It's bigger when it's closer. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Things recede as they get farther away from the viewer. Things recede towards your vanishing point. That's what it is. I love how it's summer there. It's full on winter here, raining in the wind. I love winter when it gets loud. Not for me. I way prefer the winter. My Canadian self needs winter. I need the cold. What episode was that from? It wasn't from an episode. That was from a gift that I gave to Numawik Gray for Christmas. It was a short comic where in the modern AU where Lotus goes to play out in the snow and accidentally wakes up a Remoraz. Canadian too? Yes, miss. Yes, sir. I say yes, miss to everyone. I'm sorry. I am Ontario. Jessie calls it coil for foreshortening. Add a snake head out of that. Well, I see, the coil method is nice. I use it sometimes. I use it if I'm trying to move quickly. I don't tend to use the coil method as much anymore. Ew, 36 degrees. I hate that. Thank you for the tips. I'm glad you enjoy. Yo, BC, I love British Columbia. I wish I could visit again. It's been so long since I've been to BC. Have I ever been to Russia? No. I've never been outside of the Americas. The farthest I've been from Canada is, like in terms of outside the country, is the Dominican Republic. Just go to save the video. Yep. They always save. The VODs always save. Spring is the best. I prefer autumn. I am allergic to all of spring. And external aspects. Push your movement. E. So true. What a dead meme. I still laugh at E memes. I don't care. Still thinking of what colleges to apply to next year? Valid. As a woman in uni, I understand. Oh, fantastic. This is a perfect size for this canvas. Hi, Isla. Welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope your classes are going well. I believe you switched to Yuri. objects. How do I draw that? How do I draw what? Will be affected by our action. How do you draw someone turning really fast while they're running? Depends how you choose to do it. Because if you're turning really fast and you're running, then that's sequential. So I would have that in like 3 different panels. So it'd be like they're running this way. Kind of a turn as they peter and skid to here, and then run towards the camera. If there's like the corner here. So they would come towards the camera here, they'd kind of stop and skid here, and they're like moving that way here. Make sure it's surrounding. Actors aren't completely still. How do you draw hands in action in shots? I always struggle with the cursed hands. The funny thing about that, Shuri, is that hands in action shots always tend to be foreshortened. Hands in action shots not only are difficult, but they get harder. So, while I can't really do a tutorial right now, it's a tough one. I apologize. I can't make it easier for you. Why is it called wing canvas? Good question. Ask my boss. Okay, so let external aspects push your movement, right? So that's clothes, backgrounds, etc. So your external objects will be affected by your action. Make sure that your surrounding factors aren't completely still, right? Not everything in a pose will stay completely still, right? If you have like somebody, say if you have somebody like, maybe somebody is like jumping, I don't know. Let's do like a Spider-Man jump, why not? Actually, no, let's have somebody swinging. Let's see if you've got somebody kind of like... kind of like swinging on a rope or something. Like there's a rope here. They're moving along, right? The rope is an external factor. That's something that is going to be affected by this movement, right? So obviously the rope, as it's being held on by this foot, is going to be pulled along the movement of the body. Maybe if the person is wearing a skirt, the skirt is also going to flow in the wind. So if you've got a really long skirt, the skirt is going to trail off in the wind. If the person's got really long hair, the hair is going to trail off in the wind. Maybe if it's through the air... Like, maybe if it's... Whoa. Maybe if it's through some trees, the trees are going to be disturbed as well. So, like, maybe there's, like, some leaves are going to be disturbed. Notice how everything is going in this kind of movement, though. Right? Everything is kind of following that flow. Right? So you want everything to move somewhat along with the pose, because that pose, your action move pose, will affect the surrounding factors. So even if like maybe somebody's like cannonballing into water, let's do that one. more foreshortening on that leg. Let's say that somebody's falling in the water. Let's say that they're falling. They're not intentionally falling into whatever this pool of water is. Alright, so let's say that they're falling in. The water is obviously going to splash. Around them, right? If they're falling, their clothes are going to be kind of moving upwards. Right, that kind of deal. You want to make sure that everything else is being affected by that pose to make your pose feel nice and movement. Nice and fluid. That's the word. Nice and dynamic. So let external aspects push your movement, right? It's not just going to be the pose that pushes the movement. There's going to be extra factors. Okay! Vibes. So that's going to be the lesson portion. You made it. Fantastic. So for those who have never joined a stream before, don't know how this works, once we finish the live stream, or once we finish the lecture portion, that is when we can get to the drawn portion. So, whoops, let's do 3,500 by 4,500. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I can work with that. What brush do I use? I use, like, the default G pen on Medibank. I also don't use this shortcut because it makes it go up by 1 pixel, and that takes, like, so long. What time is it for me? 4:43 p.m. What app do I use? I use a few. I mean, for streams... I switch between Clip and Photoshop and Medibank. Of the 3, I use Photoshop the most. Clip Studio the second most. Medibank the least. Like, I mean the least. I don't use Medibank outside of streams. How has my day been? It's been good. My dad took me to the mall to go birthday shopping because he was like, I'll let you. He was like, they were like, we'll buy you a pair of Doc Martens for your birthday. So I got a pair of Doc Martens with ribbon laces. So those look really nice. Because my birthday's on Monday. So I turned 21 soon. So that's fun. Am I sick? I'm sniffling. I'm always sniffling. I have really bad allergies. My birthday's in 3 days. Yeah. Aerial silk poses. I'm gonna just look them up. Thank you. Let's do this one. This one looks fun. I have it open on another window. Happy late birthday. It's happy early birthday, but yeah, thank you. We're both 21 this year. I feel old. Same, bro. My other friends would hurt me for saying that I felt old. Can I, like, hang on. You can emphasize your pose with running or falling by with a blurry moving background. Yep, you can do that. Sorry, I need to open this pose in another window so I can rotate it. Whoops. You know what? I'll have this window replace that window. Have this one here. Have you guys here. Fantastic! There we go. You're 21. You thought I was 30. The doctor did too. Last time I went to the doctor, I told him, like all the things that I work for and all the things that I do, and he's like, you have the responsibility list of a 30-year-old, and I'm like, yep, that's me. I've been working like this since I was 18. Have I ever watched Invader Zim? No. I feel mentally 18. People think I'm 26. I am... I feel like I feel mentally 21. I feel like physically I feel 75. Like, I don't know. What do I think about the furry fandom? I have no opinions. Do I watch any anime? Not really, actually. I read more manga than I do watch anime. And even then, it's hard to get me to watch a manga / anime. Manga is better. I just find that it's like easier for me to consume a manga. Good lord, okay, I need to change the size of this canvas. Why does it do that? Hang on. Let's have this 5,000 pixels. Oh, that feels nicer. Do you draw on a computer? Yep. I use my PC. Booted off my PC. Did I get Fortnite Battle Pass? Have I seen Spy Family? No, I've read it. I like Spy Family. That's really cute. Actually, I watched Kiki's Delivery Service with my friends yesterday after we played a session. That was a lot of fun. One of them had never seen it, and another one had never seen a Ghibli movie, period. So I was like, oh, you guys are gonna love Kiki's Delivery Service. It was such a cute one. What type of PC and art tablet I have? I have an HP Omen gaming PC, and then I have a Cintiq 13 HD. Dario, we should have a command for when people ask, like, what specs I use. Just, like, let Nightbot answer the question. Why did I start an online art school? I didn't. My boss did. I am one of the workers. You're right, I'll add that. Vibes. How do I draw on my PC? I have a tablet that I plug in with a HDMI cord and a USB plug. For those who are wondering, I have a reference off to the side that I'm looking at right now. I haven't drawn an aerial silk stand in a really long time. Stop, don't call me. I'm in the middle of something right now. How dare you? What pose one? Aerial silks. How do we know where to stop with a backbone? See, the funny thing about action poses is that if you're pushing it enough, there is no place to stop. Obviously, there is a place to stop, but, like, if you find that you can't do the pose, then it's probably wrong. For me, I find that it stops once I can't do the pose, and then a little bit further. This should be smaller. So should this. Medibang really does not like me. Like, it's a program that really does not like me. Is there a drawing hands tutorial? There should be. There should be a hands video that happened a while ago. It's reminding me of a ballerina leap. The thing is that I'm drawing it upside down first. So this is actually not the right way up. I'm drawing it upside down first so that it's easier to draw flipped later. Or it's easier to work with. What? Oh, I see. This image is so low res. What I'm working with right now. I feel like changing this pose. Artists can smell the low resolution, so true. You have any tips for beginner artists? Focus on your fundamentals first. Don't shy away from challenges, because it'll only make you a worse artist. And don't constantly say, I suck at art, because that will also make you a worse artist. Going like, oh, I suck at art, I hate how I draw, I hate the blah blah blah. Shut up. Stop talking, okay? It's bad for you to say that you're a terrible artist. It's horrible for you to say that you're a terrible artist. One, because it's just, like, for people who are a little bit more seasoned, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is the most annoying thing to ever hear. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's really annoying to hear. When somebody's like, I hate my art, like, all the time. It's fine to say, like, oh, I don't like this piece that I've done. That's fine, right? It's like, I don't like this piece. I feel like I could have done better. That kind of deal. That's fine. If you go, like, if you just say every single piece of yours sucks and you're like, oh, I hate drawing, blah, 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 you're gonna start hating art, man. You're gonna start creating, like, this really bad relationship with art. And it's just, like, you're putting yourself down for nothing. You can have days where you're not great at art, but you shouldn't be like, oh, yeah, I suck at art all the time. You also shouldn't be, I'm the best at art all the time. That also gives you a really fat ego. Not great. It's good to have a healthy balance of the two. My personal favorite mindset is I'm not the best, but I'm also not the worst, and I am open to learning. That's the mindset that I like to have. What would you say is the best thing to work on in drawing? I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming, like, what's the best thing to focus on? And there is no best thing to focus on. You just focus on things one at a time. Right now I'm drawing one of the party members from the D&D campaign I'm in because I was like, when I saw that Ariel Silks won, I was like, of course it did. But also I was like, fun fact, if you ever see the polls in, like, the community tab, the one that is first is the one that I want to do the most. Like, that's the one that I really want to do. I'm okay with doing any of the others, but the one that is first is the one that I want to do the most. So if you're ever wondering, there you go. But I saw that Ariel Silks won, and I was like, oh, am I gonna have to draw my dancer character again? I was like, no. Wait, there's a character in my party who was from a circus. I'm like, I could draw him. That's great. That makes my life easier. It's funny, because, like, everybody in my D&D campaign right now, nobody plays a girl. Everybody plays a boy. Half of the party is, like, actual players are made up of girls, and all of us are playing boys. More interested in knowing the most common mistakes that beginners can make when making dynamic art so I can avoid making said mistakes. Don't work with ovals when you're drawing anatomy, please. When you're drawing your arms, your legs, don't build them up like this. Don't do that. That creates the pillowing effect. It makes your things look not great. It's better if you work with hard edge geometry. My goodness, I'm sorry. I'm so sniffly. I'm so congested today. Do my drawings have meanings? Only the ones that I do for school, because that's literally what my school requires. But 99% of the time, no. I draw because I enjoy it. I don't draw because I want to create something with a huge message. Does my art sometimes have messages? Sure. But, like, that's only if I'm not feeling great and I want to create something that's a bit more pretentious, I guess. About when will the stream end? In about an hour, actually. Can I... Well, flipping is fine, but like... Oh, actually. Ah, I forgot that doesn't work on Medibang. My pen and scroll does not function on Medibang. Which is a bit annoying, but so be it. Works on all my other programs. Don't know why this one doesn't read it. What's the piece that took you the longest? How long the most difficult or integral piece took for you that surprised you? Like, how long is my longest piece? 75 hours. My most difficult piece did not take me that long, but it was... But the piece that's taken me the longest has been 75 hours. I couldn't tell you what my most difficult piece is. The one that took me the longest I did years ago. It was 2019. That was what got me into my first college. Can I flip this like this? No? What do you mean? Okay, hang on. Okay, see, this is the navigator. Like, this is the way that the pose is supposed to be going. But it still says that it's here, so this is not... Okay, hang on. Hang on. See, I can do this, but it won't be perfect. This, you know what? Fine, sure. I'm sure there's a function somewhere. I'm too lazy to look for it right now. What did I do for 75 hours? Oh, here. Give me a second. It was a big background piece. We were given for the portfolio that we had to hand in, we were given the prompt workshop. Can I find the JPEGs? I don't want to open the PSD. Ah, here it is. It was this piece. This one took me 75 hours. I remember, like, really liking it at the time. Now that I'm older, I look at it and I'm like, it's okay, I suppose. Like, I like that there's a lot of rendering issues with it. Like, a lot. And I'm just kind of like, There's a lot of anatomy issues too. This arm sucks. It's this whole section sucks. There's some stuff that I like. Most of it I don't. Yeah, old work. 2019. How'd this person work? There we are. Yeah, it's an older piece. It's not like, obviously, like, now that I've gotten better at art, there's a lot of things that I've changed now. It's not to say that it's bad, it's just fine for me now, but like, at the time when I first did it, I was really proud of it. Mostly because it was something that I did for 75 hours, and I was like, this is crazy. It was also one of my first bigger background pieces. Like, I was never a big, like, background person before then. Hi! Ray Numuik, my favorite human of all time. Bro, if you have a question, just ask me. Look at art style, thank you. Ray, it's he, him. What was my first drawing? My parents say that my first drawing was a smiley face that I drew on, like, a piece of, like, lined paper. Like, obviously, I don't remember that. It's been ages. What would be complicated from going from critter to clip? It's just that the default UIs are really different. Like, the shortcuts are really different. What do I have the hardest time drawing? Vehicles. Any kind of vehicle, any kind of transportation device. Have I ever used Paint Tool SAI? Shoot. I know that, like, I've tried using it before, but I've never actually used it. Like, I've never actually, like, had it, I don't think. Yes, drawing our dads as circles, as moms as triangles. No, I drew everybody. Okay, you want to see how I used to draw people? When I was like a kid, everybody was like, I'm using my left hand for this. Everybody was like I remember seeing my first smiley face, and it was like, if you could call it a smiley face, it was like that. I remember it being something like that, like less controlled, but it was like that. With like a I have a tablet. I have a Cintiq 13 HD. Do I have a video on front-facing? Like, front-facing head angles? I know that we have head angles somewhere. I don't really know where. I don't remember which video. Daria, if you remember what video that is, that's somewhere. I'm pretty sure we have a head angles one. You just summon flying if they had wings. That's a toughie. That one I can't do immediately. But for me, we had a whole stream about wings, bro. Where is that illustration of Dolus where he's taking off? There he is. Like for me, like I just kind of have the wings coming from the shoulder blades. Yep, one panel. Wings out, second panel flatten up, third panel hovering. But yeah, you got a lot of bird wings. And my suggestion is just learn how birds fly, and you'll figure out how people would fly as well. Are most of my characters animals? No, actually. Majority of them are humanoids. It just so happens to be that the ones that I've been showing are animal-like. The thing is that, like, those bird people are not mine. Corn, I think, is my first, like, fully, like, animal, like, character. I've had, like, people with, like, fox ears and whatever. I just haven't had, like, you know. I'm just saying right now, guys, I'm seeing a lot of, like, drawing requests. I can't do those, guys. Like, I'm just, it's not, like, even when I'm done this stream, I'm like, I'm not taking requests. No, Clip is not free. Clip is on sale right now, though. Not free, though. Medibang is free. Medibang is the only free program that I draw on. You have any tips for a comic I'm going to create? It's just for practice. Comics create sequential illustration. Comics are a part of sequential illustration. If you want to, like, draw comics, I'd suggest learning your, like, cinematic types. Like, shot types and whatever. We have a stream on that. But I'd recommend learning your shot types, learning your angle types, what they're used for. And usually when you draw a comic, you want to think like an animator. How to make your actions pace correctly, how to make certain things move nicely, how to, like, choose whatever camera angle, quote-unquote, you want for your panels are really, really important. Because different angles, different, like, stuff that's farther away feels emptier, stuff that's closer feels more tight, feels quicker. When do I normally stream? 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Character I don't see someone in the media. This is my friend. So this is my friend's D&D character. His name is Atros. He's a tiefling sorcerer, I believe. I keep forgetting which one of the spellcasters he is. I think he's a tiefling sorcerer, and he's I know he's a tiefling. I just don't remember which spellcaster. He used to be part of a circus, so I was like, oh, I could draw him for this stream. That makes sense. How do I have Clip for free? I don't. I paid for it. How do I work layers? I add a layer every time I need to make a layer. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Gemini. I mean, my birthday is in 3 days, so you can guess from that. I believe I'm on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer, if I remember correctly. I mean, I am Gemini, but, like, I'm on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. I assure you I cannot guess from that. That's okay. I mean, you could look it up. How does one design a character that is ugly but is still pleasing to look at? Shape language. You want to make sure that your shape language is well thought out. And your design, despite them being ugly, they still need a good, like, design to be based from, you know? Like, if you look at any of the monsters from, like, let's say, like, God of War, like, they're all hideous. They're all terrifying and horrible, but they are the best to look at. It's kind of like how people, like with, monsters. It's like, your monsters are meant to look hideous and awful and ugly, but they'll still be really good to look at. And that's just because the design is good. How do you render stuff so flawlessly? This is not flawless. I find that on Medibang I work, like, the brush doesn't handle as nicely, so it's like I think that I like render, or I line a bit rougher on Medibang unintentionally. Because the brush is lagged a little bit and it doesn't really handle as nice, but like for a free program it's fine. Monsters Inc. The thing with Monsters Inc. is that those monsters are not actually necessarily meant to look ugly. They're supposed to be endearing. They're supposed to read like monsters while still being endearing and cute and cuddly. Like, I wouldn't call any of those monsters, like, hideous. I don't think. Can I rate Procreate 1 to 10 if I've ever used it? Probably like a 7, 8. Undertale Tina? No. Undertale is also another game where it's like I find that the characters are meant to look not like ugly but endearing. If you want, like, ugly, you're gonna have to find, like, the M-rated games, man. I've always been more of a video game person than an anime person. Many pages doesn't feel as nice. It's my best description. Yeah. That is a good description, though. It's true. Have I ever seen Moshi Monsters? I always played as the fox character, and I always made him pink. And, like, I always played as the pink fox character because it was just the best one. And I would go after school in, like, 4th grade and play for hours on end. I don't know what Moshi Monsters is like now. I haven't checked it. If I'm used to paper, what equipment do I use for drawing on a device? It's whatever you choose, man. Like, there's literally, like, I started traditionally. Like, I didn't start doing digital work until I was 13. And when I started, I had a tablet that was older than me on a computer that I could not unplug from the wall. And it was like... It was old, man. It was old. It was beat up. I didn't have pen pressure. Like, you can start on literally anything. I also didn't have a screen on my first tablet. I didn't have a screen on my second tablet. It was, like, this is my 3rd tablet, and I still haven't switched off from it because it's amazing. I love this tablet. But... Like, whatever you start off on, it literally doesn't matter. I just recommend getting a used tablet. Because it'll be cheaper. Oh, is Motion Monsters gone now? Sheesh. Yo, Scarecrow Sketch. My guy. Hi, Crow. How's it going? Am I good at drawing dinosaurs? I think I'm okay. I started on a $25 tablet from a company that doesn't exist anymore. So true. Yeah, my first tablet was like, I don't know where it was from. My dad just gave it to me and was like, here, you have this. It has a pen with it. And I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Have I read Junji Ito mangas? You've told me some of my favorite. You've just brought up my favorite manga artist, bro. I love all things Junji Ito, dude. I watched a Junji Ito draw live. He came to Toronto 2019 for Toronto Comic Arts Festival. Bro. I sat and watched him draw live. That was like the best experience of my life. First of all, he's really funny. He's a really sweet man. Second of all, watching him draw with like a pen just live while doing a Q&A, crazy. So fun. What a great day. I'm going to TCAF in a couple days and it's gonna be like great. I'm like, man, it's gonna be so good. I miss going to TCAF, man. Another fan of him, dude. I love Junji Ito. Like, my favorite manga, I always say that, like, I can't talk about my favorite manga, and I still can't. It's not by Junji Ito. It is a horror manga, though. I just can't talk about it. But, like, Junji Ito makes, like, if I had to choose, like, a favorite manga artist, it is Junji Ito. Like, he's just that level of, like, awful. That's a good level of awful. Like, if you want a monster that's, like, great to look at, but still, like, horrifying and like ugly, Junji Ito monsters. That's what you want. When I look at monsters, I look at Kaiju, Power Rangers, or Kamen Riders, villains, those designs are hideous. See, I'm a huge fan of like when like Resident Evil Village came out, like I adored those designs. Like that's my level of hideous that I'm like, I need designs that are more like that. For real, Junji Ito's rendering is always amazing to look at. It really is. It's just like the fact that like, actually one of the questions in the Q&A was like, do you work digitally or traditionally more often? And if so, like, and depending on what, and like, which do you prefer? And he says that like nowadays he works digitally because it's faster, but he says that he'll always prefer working traditionally, which is fair. Like I way prefer digital now, but I understand like the appeal of traditional, because like as somebody, like I still work traditionally, mostly for school, but like if I am working traditionally, like traditional line work and traditional illustration has a grit that digital art doesn't have, and it hasn't been able to replicate. Any tips for straight snake drawing? Snakes are very long cones. Work with that shape. Dark deception. I don't know what that is. Let me Google that. Oops. Oh, this game? Yeah, these monsters are okay. I feel like for me, like the kind of like, I like this duck. What is the rubber duck with legs? I like that design actually. I find that like the scary, like the scary animatronics and toys are like, it's such an overdone concept as of right now. You know what monster designs I love? Little Nightmares. Those are some great monsters. I've been playing the second one. Man, I love that game. Ballet dancer elf. He's a tiefling. This is my friend's character, Atros. Yeah, you want some good little designs? Little Nightmares is it. 6 is so cute. I've been playing the second one. I find that I like the second one's monsters more. I love them both. Like they're both such amazing games, but like the second one has such like, what a cute, like what a great looking monster. What a great looking monster to open on. The teacher? My gosh. What a great looking monster. What a great design. They're terrifying. And that's like, it's amazing. I actually went through the doll section. One of my favorite tropes is like dolls and whatever. Like, so I love that section. But I was like, I was so mad because it was so hard to get through. And I was like, my best friend was watching me and she was like, I screamed like every 5 seconds because I was just getting so mad. I was like, I can't work with it. I was just getting so angry. And she's like, you gotta calm down. I'm like, no. Oh, the chef characters are great. What a great design. I'll just keep saying that. Like, it's just like, what a great design. It's like, there's a lot of monsters don't scare me anymore. That's literally just because half the time I'm just like admiring the design of them. Oh, the Quarry? I've started watching. See, like that game studio has brought us like so many like not great games that I just have so little faith. But like, I'm like, haha, little faith, that's one of them. But I've been watching Jacksepticeye's playthroughs. Like I haven't finished it though. Like I'm like most of the way through the first playthrough up that he did. And I'm like, oh, the townsfolk in Little Nightmares too. They're amazing. Just like the hole in the face when they go and look in the teeth. Fantastic. Great looking stuff. Man of Medan was so incredibly made. So true us. Man of Medan was so bad. Like, I'm not even like, what are we talking about? Hi, Kay. We're talking about, Kay, look who it is. It's he. We're talking about horror games and monsters. If you had to, could you do a piece without pen pressure? Yes, I love doing pen pressure pieces. They're a really nice challenge. I sometimes I turn off my pen pressure just because it's just a fun little thing to do. I too like the concept of Bendy and the Ink Machine. It's unfortunate what happened to that studio, but the concept of Bendy was it was a good concept. Yeah, we're talking about like different horror games. We started on Little Nightmares, and now we're on to the Quarry and Man of Medan. I'm just saying, listen, that studio I have so little faith in. I did see, however, okay, no spoilers for me, okay? Haven't seen enough of the playthrough, but I'm like, I am excited because there's a prospect of werewolves. I love me a good werewolf. So I'm just like, I haven't seen the monster yet. So I don't know. Yeah, you just finished the Quarry playthrough? Yeah. So I just started watching it because I'm like, I was waiting for him to finish it before I would get into it. Do I know Jay from Cub Scouts? No. Excited at the idea that werewolves might possibly exist. So true, right? I'm like, listen, I heard there was werewolves. What's the canvas size for this? 5,000 by 4,500. Listen, Kay. Listen, werewolves are just cooler than vampires. I don't care what anybody says. Alright, Oz, you can fight me on that. Alright. Thank you, Crow. See, Crow agrees with me. Werewolves are so much better than vampires. It's true. It just is, okay? It's just, listen, the concept of werewolves, okay? First of all, transformation, sick. I'm like a huge fan of transformations, things being possessed. It's just a really cool concept, all right? I like that idea. All right, what do vampires have on werewolves? Fangs, right? Not even, because werewolves have fangs too, okay? It's just like what else do you have to offer? Oh, thank you for the donation, Cosmic Wolf. I forgot that we had that set up. Team Vampires. I'm sorry, Daria. All right, like it's just I'm a sucker for transformations. You also can become wolves, vampires. What? Twilight ruined the vampire aspect for me. The thing is that I've learned the culture. Vampires have also been ruined for me because I took a class in college. It was called Making Monsters, and it was like all about the history of monster creation. And I've learned where the idea of like vampires came from, and I'm just like, oh, I feel really. And now I feel bad about the existence of vampires as well, but also like, I don't know, man. Like the blood-sucking thing, it doesn't do it for me. I'm not a fan. They turn into bats. Okay, listen. I just prefer like the idea of like a big giant monster. Werewolves turn into wolves. Crow fight them for me. I need to finish this. Yeah, things being possessed is my favorite trope. I'm a big fan of like possession, transformations, that kind of trope thing. It's just like werewolves just fall into that category, and I'm like, yeah. Oh, Chiquititu, that's the Manananggal. It's a Filipino folklore thing. Just dogs with extra steps. Yeah, good boys. Art's move. Can vampires go outside? No. Can werewolves have sunlight? Yes, aka vampires can't have cute picnics outside. You're so right. Cottagecore werewolves. So true. Oh my god. I should make a character like who's infected with lycanthropy, but it's not like a wolf. He turns into like a Shiba. That'd be so funny. Wait. That'd be so funny. Werewolves got everything vampires got, but the things werewolves are weak to are silver. Bruh, vampires get vibe checked by the sun. True. I'm checked by the sun. That's so funny. Okay, that is funny. Isn't it great? If it's a werewolf and he turns into a Shiba. No, now I'm thinking about it. I can't do this. Different breeds. No, a Chihuahua werewolf. No. What if there was a vampire that turned into a werewolf? That's the monsterception. Hello. Vibe check by the sun is so funny. Werebat, true. Isn't that just a shifter? Like if you like sun is over to pug werewolf. This is happening. I'm gonna have to create a character. K, okay. In chat, K is my DM. K, if Corn dies, you know who's coming. Is Shiba werewolf? What if it was a werewolf and he looked like Stinky? Who's a friend of mine's dog. What if he looked like Stinky? When Corn dies. If Corn dies. Sorry. I said when. Yeah, my bad. If Corn dies. Listen, man, the only example of a vampire that I've seen is a Dampier, and a vampire got vibe checked by a dragon, okay? Like, I can't. Woo! Sorry about that. Goodness. Thank you. What would you do if a cat replaced the werewolves with cats and cats could turn into a werewolf werecat? Pardon. Better die cute than live long enough to become long. Oh no. It's okay. Like, the feat that I've put on Corn is tough, and like, he already gets an extra D12 of health every level up. My boy has 54 HP at level 4. How much cat can a cat? Serious question, Jesse. Please answer. I have no answer, unfortunately. That is an answer that only God can give you. Ask the Wild Mother. Vampires can't even look at the mirror, so how would they know if they had marker all over them? So true. Imagine getting vibe checked by a marker. Where? Who? True? Communicating with the Wild Mother, and she has to try and answer that with a yes or no somehow. Imagine getting vibe checked by garlic bread. LMAO. He's got a new kitten. What should I name him? He's gray and white. Nim. Short for cumulonimbus, which is a storm cloud. It's the first stream I've popped on it. This is great. I'm glad you're having a good time. Drawing has suddenly become like a secondary action for me, and I am just talking about whatever. I do really want to play a centaur at some point, but like the horse half is not a horse. Like I'd want to like if they're like half panther or like half deer. Deer for sure is something I really want to do. I get check my garlic bread constantly. It's called gluttony. So true. It's called a gluten allergy. If vampires put on makeup, can they see their face? Good question. See, okay, so the reason why, if you actually want to know, the reason why vampires couldn't see themselves in the mirror is because, like, the mirror had silver in it. Like, back then, mirrors had silver in them, which was considered a quote-unquote pure metal. So, vampires couldn't see themselves in mirrors because of that. Modern mirrors are not made from silver. They're made from glass. So technically, if a vampire was around today, they would be able to see themselves in the reflection of a mirror. These werewolves have cute little picnics with Shebas and tea, so true. Oh, yeah. I love Pinterest. As an artist, I love Pinterest. And as an artist, I hate Pinterest. Can't werewolves only transform during the full moon? Not in D&D! They could transform, whatever. Actually, no, that's not true. They have to make a wisdom save if their health drops below a certain threshold. So that they don't transform. The full moon is like a transformation that will happen. But if they gain better control over the lycanthropy, then they can transform at will. If they're a true-born lycan, then they can have a half transformation, which is like somewhere in between. I have read up on werewolves too much. Maybe that's homebrew. I'm not too sure, actually. Maybe that part's homebrew. Have aluminum or steel in the background. Yeah. That's still not silver, though. It's not pure silver. Like, it's not like the silver metal. Pretty sure these is homebrew. Is it homebrew? Okay, vibes. Compelling argument, consider the following werehorses. I feel like that's terrifying. I feel like that's more terrifying. Y'all ever see, sorry, off topic. Y'all ever see a camel? Camel's teeth? Imagine a were-camel. That'd be terrifying. Because, like, camels have fangs. You know that? Camels have huge fangs. Like, huge fangs. They're great. It's a fantastic reference. I use them all the time for, like, if I want to draw some nasty teeth. This finger sucks. I don't know why I can't control. What? Yeah, Daria, if you've never seen a camel, like a camel's teeth, yeah, Google it. You'll find like camel teeth. They have fangs, bro. They got big fangs. Camels can swim too, yeah. Camels are actually terrifying. Hippos are also terrifying. More people die to hippo attacks than they do to shark attacks in a year. Hippos are an extremely dangerous animal. They're cute, but they are extremely dangerous. You know what isn't extremely dangerous, though? Elephants. Elephant supremacy. Elephants over hippos any day. This is new information for me, for real. Oh, hippos in D&D? Good question, I don't know. Elephants are bullies. No, they're so cute. I want to see a hippo D&D character now. You can just homebrew a Loxodon and have them be a hippo instead of an elephant. Rhinos are also scary. Were owls or were birds? That's funny. In the campaign that I'm playing, there's a character named Lunan. He's a shifter. He's a falcon shifter, so he technically is a werebird. Because shifters are like people who have like lycanthropy with other animals. So he's a shifter with a falcon. I love Lunan. Lunan's so cool, dude. Like, Lunan's such a cool character. One day I'll draw Lunan for stream when when the pose feels relevant. Any tips on lining the poses up so limbs don't look too long or short? It's literally just measuring by relativity. You just kind of have to keep the limb relativity in mind when you draw, and you'll get there. For me, I have a reference open on the other window, so I can just kind of look at what they're doing. But in terms of, like, actually drawing the pose, I tend to just always have the referential measurements in the back of my mind. Sometimes you'll just be able to tell. Like, you'll look at it and you're like, oh, this limb is too long / short. That usually takes a bit for you to be able to do on command, though. I have a shifter falcon character. She's a bard who has a horrible stage fright. Oh no. Lunan, or he's a shifter artificer. He's great. Lunan has a little robot. He's a homunculus, who is like a little drone. His name is Ducky. I love Ducky. I should have an illustration of Lunan somewhere. I should. I know I do. Let's find one that I can show. Fine. There's Pesky. There's Lunan. Lunan looks like this. He's got, like, the feathers in the top of his head. This is, like, his fancy outfit that I drew because I felt like it. I was like, I want to try something that has, like, a lot of... This is all done with, like, a pencil brush, so I wanted to, like, have the gritty kind of, like, texture in there. That was a lot of fun. I love Lunan. Lunan's such a cool character, bro. If you could add a new patron for warlocks, what would you add? I myself would love to see a warlock subclass worships a great worm dragon. That'd be really cool. I have a homebrewed warlock, and he's like, he worships a great, well, he's married to his patron. His patron is a great old one, whose name, quote unquote, is Sunny. And they're married because I think it's fun. If I had to put in like a new, I think it would be fun if there was like a dragon one. I know there's a big snake one. That's one that my my best friend, her, oh no, I think he said, what is Wick? Is Wick a, hang on. Like, my brain was like, is he a warlock? Because I remember her saying that he was like something else. Ancient Dragon Warlock subclass. I haven't. Wick is cute. Chirp. If I had to pick some kind of like extra god that like the warlocks would be patrons of, I feel like I would pick something like really freaky, like some kind of eldritch thing, but I guess that's what a great old one is, so welcome to the fun game avoiding a tangent between the arm and the lip. So true. I've just been like, wait, no, there's a tangent there. Am I gonna add color? Probably not. There's only 20 minutes left, so I'm probably just gonna grayscale shade this one. Gulak is still so funny to me. I don't know what that means. Wait, is that not- wait. Oz, please. I don't know what that means. I'm still new to D&D. I've been playing for less than a year. Opinions on Skyrim? Never played it. I have no opinions. Oh, great old one. Oh, so that's also a great old one. Jokes. Oh, so he is a warlock of a great old one. Okay. Yeah, because she chose a patron who was like, oh, he is a, that's right. I'll always forget. I'll never remember. Who already existed, I believe. I don't remember if it was if she was homebrewed or not. I don't know any of the acronyms, cries. Are there potato chips in D&D or something familiar? I mean, make a chip paladin who swore the oath of the chip. I mean, that's called homebrewing, dude. Do it as much as you want. Most of Great Old Ones features do literally nothing. I don't know. I chose that one because it sounded cool. What is this humanoid? He's a tiefling. There we go. There aren't that many acronyms. You're good. Nice. A garlic bread domain cleric. That's really funny. Same, to be honest. Worship the garlic bread. D&D seems super cool. I've never played before. I got into D&D because I watched the show that shall not be named, and I was like, oh, this is like literally just like listening to a story. And then I got obsessed, and then now I play a campaign with a bunch of them, so I had no interest in D&D prior, and now here we are. My tiefling D&D character, he's a tiefling water genasi. His name is Caspian. My base is designed off of an oarfish. One day I'll play Caspian, who knows? Guy, same, Crow. What would you do if the ducky from Dark Deception? I have no clue. I mean, I don't really know what that question means, but I just wish the features more reflective what the actual subclass is meant to be. 6 level features, literally just a parry. Any class can have that feature. It makes sense. Ah, I see. See, I don't read into that kind of thing a lot. So I'm just like, oh, this sounds good. You can tell that I'm more of a character designer than a player or looking into features or anything. I literally just like, I read it and I'm like, that sounds cool, and I'll just take it just because. I don't build for, I build for story. I don't really build for power or anything like that. As someone who has never played D&D before, what's the best advice to give them? Have fun. And read into your classes. Read into what you're choosing. Thank you for the donation, Artsmoo. Thank you for the $5. As a DM, I have to look into features, otherwise they might create an issue. True, yeah. I love playing Fae characters, even if it's not great. I love playing an Archfey Warlock. Valid. What do you think about the forbidden weapon railgun strategy in D&D? I have no clue what that is. I don't strategize. I remember when I made Korn, and I was like, it took me like 5 sessions into our campaign before I actually read up on his class. Before I actually read up on a totem barbarian. And I was like, ooh, this is cool. Future's generic, Eldritch Knight Bomb would be the best fighter subclass out there. All the features demonstrate the class will contribute to the design. Again, I don't read into any of this stuff. Like, I'm just like, if that's how it'd be for you, sure. It's like, okay. I don't know if I'll ever play Kingsley. I do really want to, but it's gonna be like, I have to work with my DM a lot on making Kingsley integrate into a story. More of a character designer than a player. What are your favorite games, if you have any? Like, in terms of, like, in, like, video games? I've been playing Little Nightmares recently. I really love Kentucky Route Zero is another one I've been playing. I am a huge fan of the Kirby series. I've played most Kirby games. Shoot. I always say that my favorite game is Kirby Superstar Ultra. Oh, Omori's coming to the Switch. I've already played it. Great game. Little Nightmares 3 hasn't come out yet. I don't think it will. I think they wanted to stop at Little Nightmares 2. Opinions on Smash Bros. Good party game. I play it for nothing else. After Brawl, it felt unnecessary to play for the story. Because it just stopped having, like, a really good story. Brawl? Smash Bros. Brawl just had a really good story. Like, that... I don't care what anybody says about Brawl. And if there's any, like, hardcore Smash players in here, I literally don't care about mechanics either. The story of Brawl was so good. It was just so long and fun and, like... Having taught a few groups D&D, as long as you learn, like, the 3 core rules, you can pick it up as long as you play. As long as your group is patient, yeah. I learned, like, the rules, quote-unquote, mostly from just watching other people play. Do I want glitter glue? No. Smash has story. Older Smash games had stories. The newer ones don't. Well, okay. Ultimate had a story, but it was, like, very okay. You're still in school? Yeah. I'm in university. The best thing you can do as a player is be familiar with what it is that you can do and try to take some of the load off DM, learn about your actions, learn a bit about the legal language. Also have fun. Also have fun. See, that's jokes because I didn't read up on my class until like 4 sessions in. Should I have done that? Yeah, probably. I was like, yeah, the thing is that I'm also playing a martial class. I'm playing a barbarian, so it's like, it's not like there's any real complications to him anyway. But I was like, you know. Still have time to teach us. I usually try and make sure that my classes don't land on a Friday. I'm not in, like, I'm in uni right now, but I'm on summer break, so I don't have classes. But yeah, I still stream during the school year. You can see some of my, like, older streams during the school year, and you can see how tired I am. Like, I'm always exhausted during a stream. I'm still pretty tired right now, but that's, like, just, like, my general state of being. Do I play any rhythm games? Nope. I find that I'm pretty good at rhythm games, only because, like, I have a pretty hefty music background, but, like, I don't really play rhythm games, though. Smash put all the story and character trailers because the director didn't like people watching the story cutscenes outside of the game instead of playing for them. Really? I thought it was because there was a leak and it was like, they had a whole story played out for Ultimate and then like there was a leak, so then they had to scrap it and try something else. Is Medibang only for PC? Nope. Medibang is on tablets as well, phones. I'm gonna be real. Medibang on a phone, it sucks. It's not good. Like, can you use it? Yeah, I suppose, like, you could learn, but it's like I'm gonna be honest, it's just not great. It's my secret cap. I'm always angry. My little boy, Corn, isn't always angry. He's just a little bit, and excited. Just a little bit excitable. I was originally gonna have Corn be angry all the time, and then I was like, nah, that's not as fun to play. Oh yeah, 100%. If you find a Strider spell super busted, find a weakness in the story, don't try to mess with the experience, yeah. I mean, the thing is that for our party that I'm playing right now, I have the lowest stats, and my lowest stat is a 9. I have the lowest stats of the entire party. The character that I mentioned before, Lunan, the shifter, artificer, his lowest stat is a 12. His highest stat is an 18. I think he has 2 of them. He rolled busted, and like, Lunan's such a good character too, though. He's so fun. So for like us with like our busted characters, it's just like our lovely DM has just balanced it all out for us. Yeah. All meta D&D advice boils down to be respectful, respect DM's time and work, respect the other PC's autonomy. Yep. Do I watch Vivzy? I do. I think the only show that I've actually watched is Has Been, and then like I keep telling myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the other one at some point. I just realized I probably can't say the name. So I'll watch the other one at some point, and I just don't. Opinion on edgy characters, hit or miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're terrible. I live for edge, but sometimes it's just like, man, you're so annoying. You gotta balance out the edge with something else. I say that for most characters, though. I'm like, you can't just have X thing or Y thing. You gotta balance it out. Shadow the Hedgehog is the ultra edgy, so true, but Shadow's great. He's like edge, but it's memed enough to the point where it's like, yeah, you're fine. That's okay, I think. Sorry, if I ever go kind of silent, it means I'm just trying to focus. I'm, like, thinking. I've mostly done improv D&D stories before. We random gen characters only had like 10 minutes to come up with the game beforehand. Valid. I I enjoy when streamers actually interact with the viewers, just makes the time better. Yeah, I mean, it also helps keep me awake. So, like, I will interact with you guys. Can I turn this to multiply? And then can I... Let's make this shading. And let's make this the color so that I can... add in his actual skin tone? Yeah, that helps. And then I can add a light layer as well. There we go. Edgy characters have so much potential, but I do not trust most people to write them, because most are like, wow, Many, you're so cool and mysterious. So true. It's like edgy characters have such, like, potential. But then it's like people are like, oh, you're so cool and, like, mysterious and whatever. But, like, that's so boring. Like, come on. Give me something else. It's like, go off, King. Give us nothing. So pretty. Thank you. Trying my best. Okay, there's 2 minutes left. That's fine. I can live with that. I should have just... This is easier. There we go. Really want to know what the song playlist is called? It is in the description. All the way at the bottom. Want to see the file? It's almost there. Just gotta fill this in and then add some highlighting and then we're all good. Fast, yeah. I try to move quick. I'm most proud of a recent one that I did in an hour and a half for a class demo. Oh, that's 6. We're gonna be going a little bit over time. That's okay. Hopefully that's okay. I like to move quick. I prefer to move a bit quicker. Because I like a lot, like even when I was growing up, I think the thing that I focused on the most was speed. Like I wanted to make sure that I was working really fast. Oh, whoops. I'll still never get over the fact that Medibank doesn't have a color history. What the heck, man? was my favorite TV show as a child? Good question. I really liked Ben 10, but there's a lot that I really liked. Hang on. And all right. With that though, whew, that is going to be the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. This piece, or no, if you're new here, don't know too much about the channel, don't know too much about us, you think that this is my channel. It's not. We're not just a YouTube channel. We're also an art studio. So if you'd like to check out the classes that we offer, summer camps are coming up. I'm teaching a couple of those. I am teaching the teen intensives, so I'm going to be teaching, oh shoot, I believe I'm teaching comic art. I'm teaching comic art and I'm teaching figure drawing. That's what I'm doing. So those are going to be happening during the summer. This piece, along with the lesson, will both be available on the Discord for you to download as JPEGs. They're there for you to keep saved, whatever you want with. It's there for you to have and reference. So those are there just in case if you want to have them. But if you'd like the working files, there's only 4 layers in this one, but if you'd like the working files, you're going to have to join our Patreon. Minimum of $5 a month, you can get my working files. $5 a month is where you can get 1 working file a month. 20, I believe you get 2. And then access to discounts for classes and whatnot. So, that's where that is. The next stream that we are doing... Shoot, what is the next stream? Next stream is movement. It's movement. We're going to be talking about movement. Why are these streams backwards? Anyway, we're going to be talking about movement next week. It's going to be another tutorial one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'll see y'all next week. Au revoir. Bye-bye.